Hello, seniors. I'm 52, disabled, busted knee, and a bunch of neurological issues. Bringing to mind or bringing to attention a big issue that's going to hit everybody here, they say in 2032, but they're aiming for it earlier. Your Social Security check. Now, some people are wealthy and don't, they could completely do without the Social Security check. They don't care. The people who were born into wealth, grew up wealthy, lots of money in the family, just don't care. This message is not for them. This is for the people who live day to day, month to month on Social Security. Let's say you're a veteran and you're on Social Security and you own your home. You've paid it off. You're a senior, a regular job. You worked your whole life. You paid off your home. For anybody who's paid off their home, the city of Memphis and Shelby County, you're paying them basically the amount of rent that you would have paid 15, 20 years ago. I mean, if you've got a $1,200 Social Security check and you bought an $80,000 house 20 years ago, they've reappraised it. They couldn't raise the taxes because that would draw too much attention. So they turned around, they reappraised your house for a fortune. My little $80,000 house that I paid for, the first appraisal this last term was $440,000. There are houses around here like that one. They're a third, or 2/3 what mine is. I mean, it's a lot more space. It's a lot bigger. They're just gouging me for some reason in particular. And why that is, I can't give you an answer for that. But it doesn't matter. They don't care. You can't go appeal it. I've tried to appeal all the way to the state, and it's shot down. There's no recourse. You don't have anything. I sat in an assessor's meeting when I was trying to appeal, and I saw person after person after person go up there saying they're going to be homeless, their Social Security can't afford it. I mean, it's taking half their checks to pay taxes on a home they purchased. And the assessor is going to keep raising these prices. They're not going to go down. These houses are going to get more and more and more expensive, but there's no reason for it. The state has declared that Memphis government is so corrupt that there's no point in it even existing. The comptroller's office said that, and several others. You can look that up on the internet. It's on quotes are on news channels and stuff. Your money is not going to, a lot of it is not going to fund the police, fund the fire department. I mean, a lot of them get federal aid too, but a lot of it's squandered. It's buying people 5 houses. They're, government officials are investing in buying up property. They want you as a senior out of the home. They want to sell your home to, in their words, eliminate blight. They think you're blight. So they want to get you out. You're, I'm not going to go to a certain degree, but you're undesirable. Your income is not going to increase in order to feed their need. So they want you gone. That's really the goal. They want you gone. And the younger generation wants you gone. They want you out of the house. They want you to move away, disappear. Whatever it takes, they just don't want you around. And you're going to have to fight against this, because if you just sit there comfortably, they're going to eat you alive. 2032, Social Security is supposed to run out unless something changes. And the something that's changing is going to be like a $500 cut. And these people that are paying, getting $1,000 a month Social Security, and half of it's going to taxes, and they get a $500 cut, that's nothing left. There's nothing. You're not going to be able to eat. Welfare and all these systems, they don't cover situations like that. They don't care. The state government and the city government, you're going to hear people argue, well, there's assistance for the elderly and the disabled and stuff like that. It's $200 a year out of 4,000 or 5,000. It's insignificant. And in this year right now, the county is, and the state, the state's supposed to match some of those funds, and the state's trying not to. They're trying to get out of it, from what I hear. And a lot of these checks that were supposed to come in have not come in yet. You have to prepay all this tax and then get a refund, which is ridiculous. And you have to refile every freaking year. Really. And it's stupid. What happens in 2023? What are you going to do when that Social Security check disappears? How are you going to eat? That's number one. How are you going to eat? Number two, you're going to lose your home because the tax people are going to come and they're going to take it. They're going to sell your home. You're not going to have it anymore. Who knows who's going to move into it, but you're going to get out. They're going to drag you out of your home. And you're going to have to be drug out kicking and screaming, and there's no place for you to go. Section 8's filled up. What are you going to do? Be homeless? Is your family going to take you in? Have you talked to them about that? Because it's going to happen. You're going to have to deal with it. There's no option. The government squandered your Social Security money. It was supposed to never be touched, but they did it. They trashed it, spent it. Right now we're at war. We're draining it. It's going to be tapped. They're going to run out quicker than you expect. It's going to be well before 2023 or 2032. So you're faced with this huge tax bill, which is like making a house payment or a car payment. You're not going to be able to pay it anymore. You're too old. You're too sick. A lot of us, like me, have no family left. They're all dead. So I have nobody to go to. I can't go crying to a child or a grandparent or anybody like that to, can I have a room? Can I stay with you? There's no place for me to go. That's the end of the road for me. And the end of the road for a lot of people. It is right now. It is currently happening. There's a lot of seniors, they can't afford to stay in their homes because of taxation. Florida is making a big deal about it, and they're changing the rules right now because they know Social Security is not going to keep up with the increases in assessments. And every state is doing it. They're assessing the absolute shit out of people. Excuse my French. But that they're doing that. They're going to assess you out of your home. They want corporations to buy up these properties, and they know the corporations can re-rent them and flip them, put them in good repair and sell them. Rent them out to people and pay the taxes when an individual can't. And that's what the big blue cities want. They don't want you there. They want you out. They want corporations in. Trump put a big blow to that when he, limited how many, single family homes the corporation can earn. But the workaround for that is just make another corporation. And FedEx has thousands of corporations, so it really doesn't solve the problem. What do? You, as a senior citizen, your life is coming to an end. I mean, before your time. They're going to put you out on the street. You've got to petition. You've got to fight. You've got to fight for your friends and your relatives. You've got to fight for your life. Because these young people, they don't care. They view you as they've been indoctrinated, to hate you. And a lot of them, it's all them or nothing. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care about senior problems. Few people do. You see it with the benefits programs and stuff. Just very little. Medicare, how they're changing it. You've got a whole system of broken medical assistance. It's not the Medicare it used to be. When my mother was on Medicare, it covered everything. Not a single question was ever raised, and she was fine. Now you've got Medicare Advantage, and you practically have to read a book to understand all this stuff. They don't take care of you anymore. They're trying to privatize everything. They want to get rid of Social Security. They want to, try to turn it into some kind of investment scheme, and investments fail. We're currently at all-out war with Iran, and the whole Middle East is likely to follow suit. And somebody's got to fund all that, And should we be there? That's a huge debate. But at your age, in my age, and people who are disabled, we shouldn't be worrying about this situation. We paid our whole lives, and we worked our whole lives to get that little retirement home so we could have a place to stay until we die. And then maybe pass it down to children or something like that. We didn't buy this home and invest in it and keep it up to date and repair it so that the city that practically owns it can come by and say, get out. They're not paying for funds to rebuild your home. They're not investing anything into it. You're doing it. They're not helping you out in any way. Hell, I can't even get garbage pickup where I am. They annexed this area right on the edge. Cape Bond was considered Shelby County schools, and I'm out east of it, but I'm considered Memphis. How does that work? It doesn't. So, sign petitions, protest, hold rallies, do whatever you can to make this situation known. And yes, people are going to say, well, how do you intend on paying on the bill? How does the city, say if we don't collect property tax, how's the city going to continue to exist? Maybe, just maybe, the city should stop with the criminal activity and the fraud and the embezzlement and all the stuff the state is accusing them of. They sit there and deny it. Oh, this is a majority city, we do things our way, blah, 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 blah. And screw what the rest of the state says. They want to do it their way, and they're going to sue, and they're going to hold hands in church meetings and stuff like that, condemning, and then they can stretch it in a bunch of different ways that I can't say because I don't have freedom of speech in America anymore. Constitutional rights, they've taken all that away. So, what do? You need to get together and think about this, because you've got, 6 years left at most, if nothing is done. And they're talking about next year they're going to do it. So you're going to have to answer these questions. The seniors have no income that have lived in houses. If that happens all of a sudden, there's going to be a huge rush of people that can't pay taxes. I mean, that's just simple logic. What's going to happen to those people? Are you going to be arrested? Are you going to be homeless? Are they going to put you in some kind of internment camp? Are they going to do like Canada and suggest voluntary euthanasia? I mean, those are the options you're facing because they don't want you around. They want you to move off somewhere else. But see, the problem is you don't have the money. You can't sell these houses for the amount that they're appraising them for. My house is not worth $440,000. I couldn't, I may occasionally get an offer in mail for $150. And then even if I took them up on it, they're going to come out and tour the house and they're going to say, no, we can't pay that much. We'll give you $65. All right, so I got to take that $65,000 and move somewhere else in the country just to disappear. What can I do with $65,000? I can pay rent in a low-grade apartment for, 50 months? Maybe. Then what happens? I mean, I can't eat. Welfare isn't going to cover me because, you're making that money. Or you have that asset. You have those assets to spend. I have to starve. Starve or be homeless. Maybe I can get an ATM card and just live off the streets. I mean, that's what a lot of us are probably going to have to do. God help us when it gets 20 below zero or something, 10, 15. We're all going to freeze to death. Do something. Take action. Scream. Yell. Don't sit there and be quiet. I know it's uncomfortable and you don't want conflict and you don't want to deal with the mess and you're hoping that, somebody will come by and save the day, but they're not. This has been a long time coming and you are the target and they have no solution for the end game except for you to disappear one way or another. I hope you're paying solid attention to this. Goodbye.